we are going to talk about the latest, the most important signing in NXT of this era. That's right, I said it. All Ego Ethan Page shows up to NXT last week to call his shot, to make a statement. And now he is officially in the NXT World Title match at NXT Battleground in Las Vegas against current champion Trick Williams. Gentlemen, All Ego Ethan Page, an experienced veteran, shows up, calls his shot, and now many fans are questioning, like, oof, we like Trick Williams, but All Ego Ethan Page is kind of at a different space right now. We have a young man who's excited to be in the WWE finally. He is bringing his A game. They're giving him opportunities, not to mention he's getting expertise and tutelage from the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, and now he is in the main event. Gentlemen, would it be good for business or bad for business for All Ego Ethan Page to dethrone Trick Williams in his first match in NXT? Let's see where this goes. Who wants to go first?
Me. Bad for business.
Oh, okay. Really all right. Since you want to jump out there and you want to go ahead and say it's bad for business, why do you think it will be bad for business? Because now I want to see what you got to say. Let's see what you got to say out your mouth about All Ego Ethan Page and Trick Williams. Good brother. Why do you think this is bad for business for All Ego Ethan Page to defeat Trick Williams in his first night in NXT, in his first main event, in his first title match, and dethroning Trick Williams from his very short NXT title reign, if that were to happen? Talk to the people.
As much as I appreciate Ethan Page and what he's done, right?
Do you really appreciate Ethan Page and all he's done?
Yeah, but he's not. He's not Kevin Owens.
Oh, right? Come on, that's not fair.
No, it is fair. It is fair. It's 1,000% fair, because when you make a move Kevin like that, when you make a move like that and you take the title off of somebody off their first title defense, as you did with Sami Zayn, right? That's because you're bringing in like a superstar, essentially, right? Like Kevin Owens was the superstar of the independents. Ethan Page was sitting at home doing nothing, and he even said that.
Don't make it sound like that,
though. But he said, did he not? Was his words, Nuz? I was sitting at home making money, and I could have been fine doing that, but I wanted to compete. Right?
He said that, but I think he just said that because Triple H said the same thing about WCW years ago. But continue. This is good.
No, the reason why he said it, because the dummies over in the other promotions didn't know how to use him right. You know, there's no reason he shouldn't have been a TNT champion. There's no reason he shouldn't have been competing for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. He may, I don't know, so one of y'all would know better if he was a TNA champion, and if he wasn't, there's no reason he shouldn't have been.
Only tag.
Right. Tag champion.
So
he was only tag.
You know, so you look at, and like I said, I'm comparing, I know it's jumping out there, but yes, I'm comparing him to Kevin Owens. I'm comparing him.
Ooh, that's hard.
To
who else? Who you got?
I'll even say like Miko Satomura, the final boss, right? I know we don't see too much of her.
There's only one final boss.
Oh, let's say that.
You're right. You're right.
It's getting her attitude era, kids.
And even when you brought Asuka over, right? Or you brought or when Drew McIntyre came back, or even Adam Cole, like he's not on those levels. And if you take the title off a Trick, it's just like with an athlete of you're gonna kill their confidence. And to be fair, this is a perfect matchup for Trick Williams. He doesn't have to win per se. Like I would be fine if he, like, let's just say won by disqualification or lost by count out. Fine. But I wouldn't take the title off of him because like he's really kind of getting started. And like one of the things, talked to him Monday, and he was saying on a Masked Man, make sure y'all check that out. He said, like, man, look, I got to turn up a notch because every time I turn around, somebody attacking me, and I ain't here for that. So
see, now you know how I feel when I talk about ego compared to Ricky Starks. That's it. Yeah, they attack me too. Go ahead.
Yeah. So as much as, like I said, I understand the question. I appreciate the question. It's not time yet. Before
this
the
is gonna be good. I'm telling you. I want to hear everybody's rebuttal. It's gonna be good. Go ahead. You said it's not time yet.
Yeah, before the summer is out, cool. I'm not for everybody need to have a lengthy title run, brother. You know, I like the back and forth, but considering you're establishing a new star, you got somebody, and we cannot deny when Trick walks in, he's over. It will be a different tale in Las Vegas because he's not doing this in front of the same crowd every week. Philadelphia, essentially, because they do a good job doing playing up the story mode, it was the reason why it was the main event, because like that was a hometown coming for him. So this is the first time really where we're gonna really see Trick Williams hit the road as a main eventer. So I'm really excited about it, but I wouldn't take the title off of it.
Okay, interesting take. Who's next? Because I'm going to save mine. Go ahead. Who's next?
I just want to disagree with Brian Waters and say, oh my bad. I'm sorry, Brian H. Waters.
You put the H in there. You make sure you respect my name.
Oh my god. Deep breaths. Okay. All right. I want to disagree with him. I just want to disagree with him and say, look, it's going to be good for business. And the reason being is because it's a possibility to make Trick a bigger baby face, to be honest. I feel like he's more appreciated when he's chasing the title. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to solidify himself as that main superstar, that major superstar. Granted, Brian did hit on some points though. Trick is the man. He's selling merch. He was crowned a guy at Stand and Deliver. So I would hate for them to take it off of him for those reasons. Plus, he hasn't had a title defense yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if you're going to bring in somebody to take the title off of him and create a splash, create some wrinkles in the water, why not go with Ethan Page, an established guy?
I got one more comparison.
What's
that's more newer than Kevin Owens.
What's that?
Okay.
Karrion Kross taking the title off of Keith Lee.
No, that's not fair. No.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
No.
Karrion Kross was a star in TNA.
Where?
In TNA. Now, you the real Dwayne Allen may not have liked him. Right?
Are you sure? Are you sure he was a star?
All right.
He was not a star in TNA.
No, he was.
He was a main event player, but he was not a star.
All right,
There was too many people well ahead of him.
Killer Kross was all up and down the timeline to the point when he came over there and Keith Lee won that championship. As soon as he showed up, everybody was like, it was that meme, like, oh, put the belt on him. And then Adam Cole ripped his career to shreds.
That tells you that he wasn't a big star in TNA.
But okay, he was bigger than Ethan Page. He had more.
But that's not fair. Ethan was the tag team champion. He was a tag team. Ethan broke away.
He definitely did as an independent guy. He was a player on the independents. I will give you that. During that era, like, because I didn't even realize he was in TNA until like after the fact. But I became a Karrion Kross guy like when I went to look at like, because you kept hearing about Killer Kross, but I knew him from like he big time guy on the independents. So I will give you that. But yeah, okay, but go ahead. Who was going? So that's
going.
I was going, but I was just gonna say, man, go ahead and just give it to him, bro. Give it to him. Make it happen. Make it happen. I think Trick is better. I think his character is better. As the
it's about to be some uncomfortable opinions on here. See,
you know. So yeah, I'm with it.
Go ahead, brother Brandon. So far we have Brian H jumped off the gun and said, "Man, it's bad for business. Too early." Brother Hugh saying, "Why not? It might be beneficial for him to lose it early. It might build him something different." He's saying good for
both
business.
of them. Yeah.
So for both of them. So both of them benefit. Brother Brandon, what say you?
I say it's good for business because
you tell.
And this is why when the draft happened, it kind of left NXT in a reset mode, right?
Yes.
Shawn Michaels he never had to hit the reset with his women's division because he figured out the sauce for them. The men, it was just like, these are the ones hovering around the top. This is my clearly defined mid card around the North American title, right? But inject some star power every once in a while. When I say star power, from the other brands. If you look at Trick Williams, we struck while the iron was hot, gave him the belt. But when you strip away the chant and his hypeness coming to the ring, what do you really have left? So
still a new budding star.
And that has time, right? They did the same thing with Braun Breaker. They struck when the iron was hot, gave him the belt. He had a born reign. They had to call Ziggler to try to inject something into it.
That's right.
And then he took it back from Ziggler. And then guess what? Braun Breaker became this NXT staple that is like, oh, wow, look what he did. He was the NXT champ. And remember, he unified the belts. He unified the NXT UK and NXT. So by him losing the Dolph, it helped you say, okay, we want him to get back. If Trick loses, let me take it back. When Trick loses this to Ethan Page, it's going to open the door for not only for Trick to be a bigger star to main event, not only every Tuesday or the pay-per-view, it's going to open up for these other contenders too. Because right now, who do you want to see taking off Trick? Nobody, because you don't have Lexus King is still going. The chairman, Sean Spears, is still going. You know what I mean? You got Wesley, who just came back. You got Joe Coffey that was inserted into North America. You got Obafemi. Do we really want Obafemi to fight Trick Williams? Absolutely not. Do we want any of these other contenders? Because Tony D'Angelo is down with the Heritage Cup. And that's going to be a whole thing. Nathan Frazier and Axiom about to drop the belts. So then you can have two other people that are dance partners for Ethan Page. So when Trick is chasing him, he can have some adversity to get back to it. So his second title reign, whether that be a SummerSlam, Great American Bash, whatever they're going to do later on, he can get it back at those because we really haven't established what are the big four for NXT. We know what the big four are for WWE, but now what are you going to give these moments to? You get what I'm saying? Because when Ilyanov was chasing, right? And y'all know I'm an Ilyanov fan. I was hurt each time. But when he finally did, I said, oh, this was the right time.
And then he didn't hold it long. He
didn't. Because, the same thing. The contenders weren't there. Yeah, because he had already fought those people. He lost to Braun Breaker. He lost to Trick Williams. He lost to, what's his name? What's his name? Carmelo. He said him. I said him, but I can't think of him. Yeah, but you know what I mean. He had his run, but because most of the people that could run with him were gone, so now you're gonna have Ethan as the champion. First off, we don't know how that Las Vegas crowd is going to react to a TNA guy that used to wrestle there.
Yep,
it might be a homecoming for him. That's something that we didn't think about too.
That's true. They where Impact was had a I call it a Las Vegas residency.
Yes, you get what I'm saying. AEW had a residency there too. Remember? Wasn't it Daly's place?
No, well that's in Jackson.
Oh, that's what's the one in they use? So I just think that once he gets it, Trick will chase, and Trick will be a bigger. He'll have more substance to him because we only gonna whoop that Trick for so long. Because it's something cool. Just like you see, they had to give Jey Uso a break because it was getting there, but you don't want people to be worn out. You want them, okay, hold on.
Jey Uso took a break because Jey Uso been grinding all these years. He ain't take a break because of the Yeets. Come on now. He's the highest merch maker.
It's personal stuff too, So I mean.
Yeah, so but the point I was trying to make, you gotta pull it back sometime, right? To have it come back. For it to be like, oh shoot, look what happened. Because you don't want it to get stale. Because look what happened with Cena. That's what we got. John Cena sucks because he never took that break. That's what we never got those. We get those unorganic heel turns and shoving it down our throat. Give us the break so we can have them. Trick needs this break because if not, it's gonna be okay. We still whooping that Trick. Okay, when does he drop it? All right, who's the contender? All right, what is this man doing? Here come the same promo. All right, here we go. Yay, he came out with shirt unbuttoned. Good job, Trick. Yay. All right.
Hey. There's something that needs to be addressed. You about to say something, Brother Hugh? Go ahead.
Nah, I'm not.
He thought it was funny. Brian H., there's something we have to address. I hear where you're coming from. I really do. And I get it. Because what you said makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you what's kind of throwing me off and why this conversation is necessary. I want you to be able to change my mind, but it's got to be because brother Hugh and brother Brandon, I'm kind of on their side for a lot of different reasons.
Brother Hugh don't count. He just wanted to go against me.
That's disrespectful, bro. That's disrespectful.
No,
you hurt my
you
feelings
don't.
now. You hurt my feelings. Right. You can't take it back. You can't take it back. It's over. Continue with what you were saying. Go ahead.
You see that? Now you look what you did, Brian H.
He said, I know the brother been going through it. You know, this been a rough year. His moment at WrestleMania 28, he can't even play that no more because he got so excited about a certain man.
I know. Right.
That's terrible. This is like it's like tears of a wrestling fan. This is wrestling fan problem. So
we wasn't going all night tonight.
I swear I'd be trying, bro. I guess it doesn't. And we haven't even got to meet with this. And I knew this was going to happen. But see, Brian is threw a wrench, and because this is we had two important conversations that needed to be had, and that's what tonight. Mm-hmm. If we missed some things, it's okay. But we got to get to the bottom of this because this is the most important thing. Because this surrounds the NXT Championship, right? And that's the lifeblood of NXT Battleground in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, if you said something, brother Hugh, you said something. Brandon guy, you said something. Now here's my conflict.
Talk about
what you said, Brian. It makes sense, but like I said, I'm gonna tell you why I'm so maybe it may not go this way. It's because ever since the Triple H era, ever since the DX era, ever since the Shawn Michaels era came into the mix, they've thrown the old playbook out.
That's true,
right? And it's like we don't know why they do things like we used to. It was predictable before, after a while, because after a while it was rinse and repeat. You watch enough wrestling, the game didn't change, only names and faces. Mm-hmm. And of course, there were things we had right, some things we had right, but for the most part, it was cut and paste. Let's call a spade a spade. Now we're entering into an era where we don't know the reason as to why. Like for instance, does anybody really believe that Trick should have beat Ilya Dragunov for the NXT Championship? But it happened. It's because, right? Come on, now this is the man that beat Gunther when he was still Walter. Right. Like that guy, you beat that guy. You beat the guy that beat the guy. No pun intended, the guy. So it's like, what's the reason behind Trick Williams? What are they trying to do? Are they trying to make him a world champion for the sake of making him a world champion? It's because we just had a whole diatribe about why AEW looks foolish for doing that with Swerve.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's like, is that what we're doing at NXT? Or is it a situation where, hey, somebody comes in and they're simply just better? And hey, we got to hook the wagon up to him. Not that they need him, but they're saying, wait a minute, this guy can deliver on multiple levels, and maybe the chase is more important than the title reign, right? I think Roman Reigns is more dangerous now not being champion than he was when he was champion. You feel me? And I think that's the next story that's going to be told when he comes back. We watch Roman for 4 years.
Right.
And you're like, well, at this point, he should be retiring, right? And it's like, no, he's just getting started. So what story are you going to tell me with Roman Reigns now without that championship? He's going back. He's coming back to that spot, right? So you look at NXT and you have a Trick Williams that he had his moment. They hit the hook and the wagon up to him, like you said, but there's a lack of dance partners. And here comes a superstar. Someone, like you said, that may not be established. You're right. He may not be established. He may not be a Kevin Owens. He may not be a Karrion Kross. But this dude, he has come in. He has staked his claim. He has called his shot. He has made it very clear who he is. And I'm having a hard time making the argument. Like, bro, I'm not saying he's not better than Trick Williams, but I'm saying where he is in his career right now, who do I trust more to start and end the show? Brian H., your rebuttal? Have I tapped the nerve? Are you at least seeing another style? Or are you still sticking with the old playbook?
I'm gonna stick with the old playbook a little bit. I'm not gonna go through the whole all the plays because it does come down to a confidence thing too, right? If Trick Williams clearly was somebody that was like, okay, we invested in him. He clearly, when you look at the NIL class, right? Clearly he did something to elevate, to get through, to be at this point he is now.
Mm-hmm.
So when he do that, it's like Kobe Bryant, right? Sure, Kobe played in the G League or whatever, but then he was in the NBA. But when they put him in that starting lineup, they couldn't take him out. You know what I mean? When he missed those air balls against Utah, he had to keep shooting. He had to learn. He had to have those growing pains. And I think with Trick Williams, the thing is, the reason why we are seeing so many people get thrown at him, because then he's got to tap into the don't take no attitude. Right now, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm happy, whoop that trick, whatever. But then it's like, yo, I'm not messing with nobody. All right, I know I'm the champ. I know I'm a marked man, but here come all these people. Now we're going to see him turn up. Now, will he get caught slipping? More than likely. I just don't think you take the title off of him right now. Even if Ethan Page beats him down and make him have to go to another level and make him snap, I just would not take the championship off of him in his first title defense.
Okay, Brother Brandon. Who has more layers, Ethan Page or Trick Williams?
Ethan Page.
Why is that?
Because Trick is still trying to figure out who Trick Williams is.
Okay.
And
we saw something similar with Carmelo Hayes.
Yes, because it's almost like a rinse and repeat when it comes to a certain style of wrestler, right? And
Speak on
it's
it.
so.
What do you mean by certain style of wrestler? Educate the people.
So
tell the truth and shame the devil.
All right, I'm gonna bluntly what it is. Elephant in the room. All black wrestlers don't have to fit into a cookie cutter. Ooh. And it's to the point now, you see this on every platform. Black people are some of the most creative people in the world, right? Mm-hmm. And that was a quote from a black wrestler. Let them be them and watch what happens. You're not doing that with their counterpart saying everybody got to wear a suit and a tie and come down to the ring and be this cookie cutter. Nick Aldis, Chris Jericho, The Miz, all of them were those cookie cutters, right? But then you let Daniel Bryan wear a T-shirt and whatever shirt he got on. You let CM Punk do this. But it seems like when it comes to the black champion, look, they did it with Booker T. Oh, that was working for The Rock. He got a lot of comparison, whether that was his style, The Rock took it, whatever it may be. That look at my muscles, shirt open. I'm just going to cater to the fans. This is me. Remember, Carmelo thing was, I'm him. What champion comes out with his shirt open all the time? You didn't see Finn Balor doing that. You don't see Damian Priest doing that.
You saw The Rock, you saw Carmelo Hayes, you saw Booker T, all the black wrestlers.
So you get what I'm saying? And Mark Henry gimmick worked for a black wrestler because he came in as the world's strongest man, right?
And he was an
Olympian. But he had to, and he was Olympian. That's why he couldn't be that. But they tried to. Let me shut up. But my thing is, Trick doesn't know who Trick is. Let's call it what it is. He was in, like, what did Ethan say? You were in the somebody else's shadow, and now you're in the spotlight, right? All he did was just trade the places. He just traded the place. Let's call it what it is. If Ricochet throws on a suit again and shows on TV, he's falling into that trope too. Sure. Like, you don't have to be that. Be you. Be something creative. Be something different. Trick hasn't done that, and to me, I'm not vested in him because that's why I made the comment about the gold teeth. All right, how many times are we going to see that? Like, right. Come on now, that has a certain
hip-hop-looking wrestler, but everybody knows you're like a geek gaming nerd dude. Like, it's okay.
Thank you. Because when Chris Bay did it, now they look copycat.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the difference in these two?
They should have been attacked.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, but we've seen his range. Ethan Page has a range that he can be that wrestler, that heel, or that comedian. Whatever the storyline dictates, he's going to do it. But when you strip it all away, he has not necessarily the experience. He can put on, he's going to make Trick look good in this match. Win, lose, or draw, Trick is going to look amazing because Ethan is the person that can do it.
This is good. I got two more questions. I got a question for Brandon. I got a question for Brother Hugh. This is. I'm telling you, I didn't think the show was going to be this deep, man. But this is good though. Brother Hugh, real quick. I'm gonna get to you, Brandon, because I got a very special question for you too. Mm-hmm. When it comes to because Brother Brandon said quite a bit, which is once again I'm having a hard time disagreeing with the brother. Mm-hmm. What does Brother Hugh? What does Trick Williams need? If you agree with what Brother Brandon said, because I felt something similar about Carmelo Hayes, early on. I was like, yo, it's that same thing. Don't give me the black dude with the shades and I'm too smooth and yeah, bought it. You know what I mean? And okay, cool, we get that. Now, son, tell me who you are. You know what I mean? That's like us having auditions and the kid comes in, he's like, yeah, yo, because I'm feeling it and I'm the realest. And I'm like, okay, cool, thank you for telling me that. Now, son, seriously, tell me who you are.
Sound like Gibson.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? You feel me? And because that's what I'm hearing. Like I said,
that's exactly it.
There's these black archetypes, and before y'all were like, Kelman, I'm like, bro, I appreciate him. I'm glad he's black. I support the brothers, but I'm harder on the black wrestlers than anybody else because I told you, I say it all the time. I'm looking for my next black superstar, and I'm like, you telling me he could be it? So, son, who are you? And then eventually, as I began to watch NXT and his character develop, how Trick Williams had his back, and then how he turned his back on Trick. I'm like, okay, I know who Carmelo Hayes is now. So by the time he got to the main roster, I'm familiar with who he is. He's not just a black slick guy. Yeah, Melo don't miss balling. Okay, MVP, we get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's once again, that's the problem. We keep saying the same archetype. So, brother,
yo, check me out. Oh, look at this. I got the chains on and gold. At
least Crime Time was meant to be a satire. Like, you know what I mean? But
look,
so
Street Profits with the red cups. Come on now.
When they debuted, I was like, first of all, I was happy Angelo Dawkins didn't get released because I was like, bro, this dude with the hoop shorts and the headbands ain't gonna make it. But he's been around for a while. He got past many cuts and the Street Profits are successful, which I'm happy to see. Brother Hugh, what does Trick Williams need? If you agree with what Brother Brandon said, there's no range to him, and not necessarily no range to him in comparison to someone like an Ethan Page that has, he does have range. In comparison to an Ethan Page, what does Trick Williams need to convince us that he should stay champion versus someone with that type of experience? Brian H, you next, brother. I'm telling you, this is many eyes coming to the product right now. You're not getting off the hook with this one. This is good. You started it. Brother Hugh, your turn, sir. Like this, I gotta hear this.
Oh
this
my
is good.
gosh.
This is an old-fashioned realm conversation right here, buddy.
Oh boy. Oh my gosh.
But you just answered the question.
That's a tough one. Well, hey, look, first of all, mind your business. This is my time, okay? Hush your mouth. Thank you. I appreciate it.
His third eating and whatnot.
He's trying to get his stuff together, man. Because
facts. That was a loaded question.
What does
that
he
was a
need?
loaded question.
He has one layer right now. We know that. We're familiar with it. What does he need to convince us that he shouldn't lose that NXT championship in comparison to someone as Ethan Page with many layers right now? That looks like he's supposed to be a champion. He talks like he's supposed to be a champion. He commands the microphone. He commanded Ava the way he signed his contract. Like, oh, this dude is not here to play any games. But yet Trick Williams is a champion. And I'm like, well, we don't see that from you just yet. We don't see that many layers. We got what you've shown us, and we like that. Whoop that. Yeah, we're there. But wait a minute. There's a new kid in class, and he has more bells and whistles than you do. And you're telling us you're the top guy. What does he need, brother Hugh?
Well, first of all, when Brandon was talking, no disrespect to Trick, I felt like Trick was being considered as Mellow Jr. when he was talking.
During what time period? Like, what are we talking?
Well,
early years.
He's mid to later years.
Oh,
it's the same. Like you said, it's the same. It's the same. Good.
Hugh, remember the show and we went to, and we said the same thing. He had the red pants on. We said, but who is he?
Yeah.
Sure.
I feel almost
dark
right?
But so that's what I'm saying. I agree when you said that he was. Yep, you said he was.
He's literally Carmelo Anthony. I mean, Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Hayes. You know what I'm saying?
I know that's
right. Straight up.
His mother is an avid wrestling fan. She might watch our show.
But yeah, that's essentially what he is. So if he can find it within himself to be more creative and kind of step away from that same, like he said, the same cookie cutter, black stereotype, whatever, that would be great. Now, as far as him, I think him losing a belt, that's what can elevate him into something different like that. It can help him tap. It can help
on this chapter of his story. I want to hear about this. Why? Let's dig a little bit deeper.
It can help him. It can help him elevate his character. Like,
and how, in what way?
It can go two different ways. Ethan Page, right now, he comes in. He's that diabolical heel right now.
That's exactly what he is.
Okay, so he can kind of do what Kane did for Zack Ryder, John Cena back in the day.
You just had to mention Kane, didn't you?
Absolutely. He had to come. Black and red. Yes, absolutely. But he can help them tap into like the deeper side of him, like the mean, bring out the mean streak in him, but he can still be on the babyface side of things. If you understand what I'm saying,
Sure,
because
he
Ethan
can be
Page,
the fed up babyface.
absolutely. So because Ethan Page is gonna do his thing no matter what. Like you said, he's already gonna elevate the status of NXT as a whole just by showing up. He's done that already.
Mm-hmm.
We need something different. Different for Trick. He became champion, and then he
needs dance partners.
He ends up in a Mari storyline.
Yeah,
that's the direction they were going.
Well,
no disrespect to Lash, no disrespect to anybody else, but let's be real.
Yeah, he's
like, what was he doing?
He's in a much more important spot than Swerve, but we're not going to go back to that. It's okay. But
absolutely.
Okay. So, okay. With that being said, I don't know what happened in the atmosphere, but it's like people are dialing in now. We about to shut this down, and people are just getting through the door.
Yeah. Right? I'll keep it going.
Brian H, tell me the truth. Okay, listen to your boy, listen to your brother. Tell me the truth, and I want you to tell me why. I want you to tell me the truth. Who has more to offer right now as NXT champion? Trick Williams, Ethan Page. You've been watching. Let me remind you who you are. Remember who you are. Let me remind you who you are. You have been watching wrestling for a long time. You have seen the highs, you've seen the lows, and you stuck with it despite whatever happened. You stuck with it. Not many fans have stuck by wrestling.
That is true.
Despite everybody has a moment, they walk away, they can't do it. It's unfamiliar. I don't know what's going on. They got to get back into it. You were there. You were kicking in your mother's stomach while she watched Hulk Hogan on TV. I don't know if it was a Saturday morning.
That's
right.
Terrible. That's terrible.
That was when you first main event.
That's when you Saturday night's main event. It was a weekend. That's when you first became a Hulkamania. You were kicking in your mama's belly. You've been watching this for a long time. You've been exposed to a lot of wrestling. So there's no way in the world for you not to answer this question correctly. So that's why I'm asking you, because what you gonna have to say about this? Brother Brandon said some stuff. Brother Hugh said some stuff. I need to know.
Oh, he's ready. He's caressing the mic, so he's ready. Look at him.
Now we're gonna see what he got. Who has more to offer right now? NXT. We're not talking about the individual, because your job as champion is to do what? You got to draw. You got to top the card. They come and thank you for the house that you brought in, right? That's old school respect. And I'm assuming that's still the tradition in the locker room in some way, shape, or form. Maybe not as enforced as it was before, but that is the respectful thing to do. You thank the top guy for the house. Bianca Belair thanked Austin for the house at WrestleMania 2 years ago. She said, thank you for the house. And he said, oh my God, no, thank you for the house. Because that's a sign of respect. Who has more to offer right now for NXT? Going into a new television deal. It doesn't have to be long term, just in general. Going into NXT, taking NXT to the mainstream. Is this a third brand? Who has more to offer as NXT champion right now? Trick Williams or All Ego Ethan Page?
You talking about right now? Or you talking about
now? Right.
He said right now, like
pay-per-view is in 2 days. Today is June 6th as we record this. That pay-per-view is June 8th. And Shawn Michaels is in that room saying, guys, we got to make a decision. It's a terrible Shawn Michaels voice, but it's the best I got right now.
And Triple H is in the corner saying, just make sure his music is metal.
There you go. Listen. I trust you guys. Just make sure you add metal. And, we'll go from there.
As long as
that was Triple H.
Music is metal.
Well, considering that the TV deal.
That's right. He can't deny now, fellas. You see what he's doing right now?
Doesn't really kick in. Doesn't kick in until like October.
Yeah, you saying like October, like it's years away.
Yeah, it means you know what it means. It means I got some time to play.
Okay,
got some time to play the game.
All right,
that's cute. I see what you did there. That's cute.
And,
that was cool. I like the way you did that. That was smooth.
And it's been it's going to get real hot. And I'm thinking, it's time for some hot girl summers. We see Sexy Red.
I was about to say he's dancing more right now, more than Shawn Michaels and Sexy Red in that card.
We see Sexy Red. So no, I'm not changing. I'm sticking on. And you know me, I'm a ride a wheel till it fall off. And
now explain yourself why you think
Trick Williams
has more to offer NXT as its champion versus All Ego Ethan Page.
Because now with Ethan Page, he has a heater. He has that adversity. again, like I said, I'm not saying that the title should never come off of him.
Mhm.
I'm only saying one thing: it shouldn't come off this Sunday. But I'm also looking at who was just there. Sexy Red. You also got who was that? Swati. I don't know how to say her name.
Sweetie.
Yeah, her that young lady. She was at the wrestling show out in LA. Shout out to Kaz and Renee Paquette. You also have Meg Thee Stallion ready to come through. You know, there's this emergence and this renaissance of hip hop, right? So right now,
rap music
in the and it's not for, may not be for us, but right now in the WWE, that's you have your black champion, right?
Mhm.
He's
But
representation.
but he's also being made important. Like you said, he's been feel more important than Swerve, right? There was a celebration.
We're having a conversation about him now.
You better have a black and North American champion after Sunday.
Oba.
No, I mean women's champion. I'm sorry. You know, you have to. You cannot.
I mean, it's on.
Right. No way Fallon Henley can win that match. Bro, no.
Go in.
You know, and then, you know, like I look at Trick Williams. Trick rolled with some dogs, man. Like if you've seen him like in Wale Mania, you know, like that, the whole hip hop, the music, that scene, that's all him. Now, the twist would be Sexy Red pulling a turn on Trick and costing him the title.
Ooh.
Either way, here's the thing. I will give you this. You cannot take him out of the title picture. Even if he loses, you can't bench him. You know, he went to Shawn Michaels a few months, like last year or sometimes, said he ready for the ball. HBK said, no, not yet. Your place is with Mello. If we give you the ball now, you could end up off of TV. So clearly he believes in him. And
same conversation with John Cena.
Yeah, and there are some people on the roster that can work with him, but Ethan Page will get him where he needs to be. But I also see Trick gaining every day. Every time he's gaining new momentum, he's gaining more confidence. So right now, I would say Trick Williams. But here's the thing. You don't go too long without putting the title on Ethan Page, because this right here is going to be pivotal the next time you go try to sign a free agent, because you won't be saying we treated them like Hideo Itami. You could say we treated him like Ethan Page. You imagine when Okada or Kenny Omega or somebody else come up, you could say
early. Well, remember Sin Cara early on when took over.
Him and what's the name? The Giant Bernard. You won't put them in those categories. So
Giant Bernard.
Yeah, Ethan should get the title soon, but you can also say, okay, this is a guy who wasn't necessarily an independent megastar, but we did trust him with our most prestigious title on Tuesday nights, and you can utilize that when you do lower free agents, the same way Cody is. Because when you bring Ricky Starks, then you can say, all right, Ricky, we can put you in the NXT title picture. We're not gonna put you on Level Up or put you in the North American Championship picture.
That makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, as from the marketing perspective, yeah, you got to have Trick as the champion, especially with Juneteenth coming around.
Bingo!
I'm just being real.
There's another wrinkle.
I knew Brother Hugh would come back. I knew you would come back home.
Brother guy, I hope you think you was off the hook, because you're not.
Hey.
I have a question for you, sir. And like I said, we're going.
Man, we've been spending a lot of time with Trick and all them beautiful women. We ain't gonna talk about them because Jordan Grace was out.
We're going to get to him.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. I'm not jumping the shark again.
Oh God, Brother Brandon.
Yes, sir.
You heard what Brian H had to say. You heard what Brother Hugh had to say, and the reason why I was picking and I was digging on both sides is because there were layers that I'm like, yo, we got to pull these layers back. We got to have these honest conversations about this. And I feel like we've successfully done it. I think we've had an excellent show up to this point. And I'm like, okay, because this is what the realm is all about. If you can't hang in these conversations, you just can't hang with us. We ain't the ones to talk wrestling with. You heard what Brian H had to say. You heard what Brother Hugh had to say. Once again, both good points. I'm like, dang. What you lose in one area, you gain in another area, right? So we talk about the lifeblood of professional wrestling. What is it about? It's a business, right? So yes, so sometimes the best wrestler with the best personality that may not be world champion because it's just not your time, because we need him to be the face of this brand for the direction that the brand may be going in, right? How many times do we feel like somebody should have been better than Hogan, but it's like, yeah, that's cool and all, but his 3 moves in that leg drop is going to do a lot more for the brand than
your 5-star match.
Then you showing the world how to put on the great professional wrestling performance.
Facts.
Some things weigh up more than others. So so Brian H's statement was like, okay, that's a fair statement to make. And then you look at the proof of it, the direction they're going in. I'm like, yeah, it's got a lot of ethnic points to it. My question to you, sir, is, with all that being said, how does this match end? How does Trick Williams retain his title without your new star looking bad? Or how does Trick Williams lose this match without your current champion looking bad? So you have 2 combustible elements in this situation. You have this new budding star that they're making this a big deal. He's called his shot. He has forced the general manager to make decisions. He's asked for lots of demands. He's going to be that guy. He's being booked right now as a hot shot free agent. Right. So you don't want to damage your new toy. But yet, according to Brian H., the direction that we're going in, we need him as the face. Not only does he develop and learn what it means to be a champion, but he can spearhead this audience that we are catering to, because right now, the way black people are doing, that's where the mainstream is. That's an audience that's coming back to wrestling. Let's just call a spade a spade. When's the last time we've had mainstream hip-hop acts say, no, I watch wrestling. Who got something to say about it? Sexy Red, as crazy as she is, or as crazy as her lyrics are, because I don't know her personally, she has always been bold about whatever she's had to say. Like, that's what she's known for, and she don't care. One time somebody said, why you wearing them glasses? She said, because I want to wear my glasses instead of contacts. That's why. And she's out there performing on the NXT with glasses on. I'm like, okay, she's unapologetic and she don't care. And she's not ashamed to say, oh, I love wrestling. This is what I do. And the other black folks are like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I kind of love wrestling too. I just thought it wasn't cool anymore. I thought, well, it was only cool for the kids. But if that's what it's going to be, they're like, yeah, that's what it is. And they're like, all right, well, cool then. That's what it is now. And that's and then there's representation. You looking at the product and go, oh yeah, they look like me. And it's not just one. See, back in the day we had one. You was lucky if you got 2.
That is true.
You really was doing good if you had 3. So at one point when we had Booker T, Bobby Lashley, and Mark Henry, we thought we was raising the roof. We thought we had something good going for ourselves. You look at NXT, you're like, wait a minute. Even if I watch Raw, SmackDown, all of them look like me. And then, and then look at the rest of the roster and stuff like that. See, brother, he done got to you. So, brother Brandon, with all that being said, once again, how does this end?
I think it's going to be a screwy finish, but Ethan walks away with the title. And when I say he walks away, because I was talking to Brother Hugh about this with the Juneteenth thing, and the more I think about it, the old school mentality of me with the Vince McMahon would be that trope of make sure all this is front and center. And we've seen a different shift when they went to Saudi, and we didn't have all the people that's from there.
And Swat all of a sudden on the card.
All of a sudden magically, Jinder Mahal getting the title shot because they're going over there. So I think that the culture has changed because they make it important all year. So, and I'm going to just use this as a good point that I'm going to say why I think it's still going to be a screwy finish. And there's still going to be a Trick Williams at the forefront on June 19th. Because Bianca Belair did it with and without the title. Bianca Belair was still waving the flag. Think about it, she made more covers and more things than the women champion at the time, if we remember. So without the belt, just like we always say, they need the belt or don't they? And I hate to sound like a person that's saying this, but without it, those vignettes has already been shot because what show is happening on Wednesday? No WWE show is happening, right? They're going to show something on Tuesday. It's going to be online together. We in this together or something, WWE celebrates. It's going to be on the website. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. What's going to be a big deal is the next appearance for that entertainer, that next appearance? Are they going to be attached to these people? Who's to say they're going to be attached to him? What if they get attached to Ethan Page? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because we got the biggest party of the summer coming, and NXT has to have an answer for that. That could be leading to that. I don't think Juneteenth is enough to say keep the belt on Trick. I think how do we celebrate and encompass and make the most money out of it when it's how do we capitalize on it? And this is what I think they're going to capitalize. Put the belt on Ethan so Trick can become a bigger star.
Ooh, man, listen. That was a lot. That was a lot. And thank you for bearing with me because we had to get to the bottom of that. I'm going to end on this note, and this is what I'll say because we're going to talk about the card for NXT Battleground and get a few thoughts about some things, and we have to talk about who's going to be crowned the new women's North American champion. You know, first mid-card championship that we've had in a long time in the WWE, if ever. I don't feel like there's ever been any type of thing that represented a mid-card championship for ladies. But then again, I don't know. I'm not a historian. So I'll say this: the Cosby Show in the '80s was one of the most successful. No, this is going to be good. I hope Brother Roger's not on here any longer because he's gonna. I know it's gonna happen. The Cosby Show was
Dr. Adam's favorite show.
It was Dr. Adam. Oh, geez. It was a family show because America embraced successful African American family, living a successful African American life, fighting stereotypes while still finding a way to be comedic, comical, yet getting America to embrace the modern day middle class African American family, and that's where its popularity stemmed from. And what dethroned the Cosby Show and all its values and what it stood for? The Simpsons. It was The Simpsons.
Oh, you went there with it.
The world chose The Simpsons after a while. They chose one family over another because that was the way the audience was shifting. We're going to leave it at that. Let's move on. Food, that was one of the most extensive good for business, bad for business we've ever done.
Right.
Shout out to both Trick Williams and Ethan Page, both tremendous superstars.